Hello, the Women's Wellness Network. Who is this man invading the sacred garden? Tis me, Andrew Michael Houghton. Some of you might know me, some of you might have seen me from the earlier days of this beautiful community. Tammy and I started our groups at the same time. I grew the Extraordinary Men's Network, and it didn't quite flourish like Tammy's magnificent garden. With that said, men are a bit lazy sometimes and a bit slower to reach out for that kind of help and support. So, it was to be expected in a way. However, I wanted to take this chance to interview your founder, the beautiful, the hilarious, the intelligent, the amazing, the inspirational Tammy Scarlett. I love your name and I love you as you because you're just so. I can't think of the next word that will just do you justice, but things like down to earth, relatable, caring, loving, passionate about everything you do. And then if you're not passionate about it, you quickly move it out the way and get on to the things you are passionate about. I love that attitude. And yeah, I never come away from an interaction with you feeling worse than when I went in. It's always an uplifting experience. So I'm glad that I could do this because Tammy's been working very busy and I haven't spoken to her until like a week ago when we arranged this, almost a year, right? A year and a half, possibly. And I'm keen to hear more about it. And I think everyone in your community is going to be excited to hear about it. So what is it ready? Is it all ready, or can you only give us sneak peeks at the moment?
Oh, we're still doing sneak peeks. And first of all, thank you very much, Andrew, for your kind words, of course. And yes, it has been a long time, right? It has been a long time. Yes. And as you say about our male friends, most of the women in here probably have some form of male in their life, whether it's their son, their child, which would be their son, their uncle, their dad, their grandfather, their coworker, their
Their
friend,
milkman, their postman,
right? Right? But
policeman.
we know people, we know men who definitely need some guidance and assistance. And women out there, if you have a man in your life and you know he could use a little encouragement or a little upliftment, Andrew's network, the Extraordinary Men's Network, is a wonderful place to go because Andrew is a wonderful human being. And I got to know you, of course, when we were growing our groups. And yes, the Women's Wellness Network is still alive and thriving. And I'm so proud of all the women who are here and everything that they bring to our group. And it's exciting for me to be able to bring something also. We've worked with other ladies, trying to get them on the stage here, letting them use the Women's Wellness Network as their own home where they can, spread their love, spread their knowledge, spread their wisdom, and help each other, grow. Right? Right? Dishing it out. Yeah, a little for you, a little for me. I'll take a little.
I loved it when you came up with the initial, what would you say, concept or theme of seeds and gardening and flourishing and growing and like the wildflowers and all of that you came up with. It's just like, wow, that's so perfect. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, sorry,
Well, my
continue.
favorite thing about wildflowers and all of that is the whole discovery of, we are like seeds, right? We're all like growing and blooming and we're going to become something eventually. But the layer of the manure that gets put over top of us in order for us to do that, sometimes it's difficult to break through that or to, sometimes it's a thick layer. There's like
Mhm,
so
mhm.
much on top of us that we have a hard time struggling out of that and being able to bloom. So just that whole thing, because as being a wildflower, you don't know what you're going to be in the end. You're a wildflower. You're wild. You're going to be whatever you kind of, if you lean towards towards the sun, then you get more
Can I
sun.
be
If you
anything I want to be, or is it
absolutely,
predetermined?
why couldn't you be? I don't
I don't
know.
know
It's
because
a,
I'm a wildfire seed. So at some point, it came from a parent seed flower. I'm assuming, but
right.
anyway. That's not going super.
You can grow, but you don't have parameters. You can spread
Mm.
out as much as you want, right? You can become as big as you want, I
This
think.
is a
And
Pixar movie in the making. Like we've
oh,
had enough fish, we've had enough inside little girls' heads. We need a wildflower Pixar movie of
oh my word.
yeah,
Andrew, that is so amazing. Well, I already got a film series coming in
pitching it.
mind. So I'm gonna write that down. I'm writing that down.
Okay.
That is so fun. I can see it.
Royalties,
I could totally
voice
see it.
actor.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. You should do that. Why don't you do that anyways?
I'll put that on the list. Oh, 1009. Good. Okay.
Well, start checking them off, my friend, because that would be a really great thing for you to do. I love it. Anyways, yes. So I've been kind of out of the limelight myself, not really doing a lot of interviewing or being interviewed, because I've been growing. I've been growing the sacred garden. I've been growing um, the insides, the parts that are, starting to come up above the manure, like all
You've
of the
been
things.
laying manure, I think.
Well, and lots of watering. Sometimes we need to water, which is perfect, right? I always say, are the eyes are the window to the soul, and I don't mind washing windows. So sometimes you got to cry, right? And get that out of there, and it helps grow the garden. Of course, we all need that. Um, so I've been setting up this whole crazy adventure. We'll just call it that. I like to think of it as an adventure. So it's you start off just kind of figuring out where you are. You can't go on a journey if you don't know where you are, and you got to
Right.
unpack what you have and repack what you're going to need because
Yeah,
usually
you
where
don't
you
need extra baggage, right? You don't need all that extra waste to leave that behind. Yeah, good point.
leave it behind. And but to take it out, sometimes you got a souvenir in there. You got something that you can look at, right? Oh, I forgot about this. And keep that or put it, to the side or bring it with you if it's important. But there's only those few things that you need from your past to carry forward. The lessons you learn, they don't weigh a lot, but the heaviness of maybe something that you haven't worked through can weigh more than anything. And when you're on a little journey, especially if you're just by yourself, then you have to fend for yourself. You have to make sure that you're capable, you're able to carry what it is that you've got to carry.
The last
So,
time I was on a journey, Tammy, I walked from one city to another city on the south coast of Korea, packed my bag, took the bus. By the second day, we were searching for a post office to ship back half my stuff because I had way too much and it was way too heavy. And it was like, we have to walk for 4 more days. There's no way. So, yeah, that's me. That's the guy that packs too much, over prepare, not even over prepares, just over exaggerates what I think I'm going to use. Like, of course, I need this kettle and this tripod for my camera and this collapsible screen I could put behind people to make the backdrop. Like, what am I thinking? But
right.
yes, so
Well, that's
I
the thing though. It becomes overwhelming, right? You're overwhelmed with all the things that you have to carry, and generally we don't need to take it with us. But most of the time after we unpack our bag and we're starting off or we want to go somewhere, we're just don't know the direction. We're not too sure which way to go or,
mhm.
what to start at. So the guide that I created, the 7 signposts to discover if you've wandered off your own path, kind of gives you those little things that say, oh, did you miss this little clue, the little signal that you're getting from yourself? Because most of us are absolutely disconnected from our own signs and signals. And we just keep going along, right? You think, oh, everything's great. I'll keep going. Like the proverbial rock in your shoe when you're hiking, or when you get a blister and you don't stop to take out because you don't want to get left behind. So you leave the shoe or you leave the stone in your shoe and you just keep hurrying to catch up, but it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Or the blister, if you just take 5 minutes, stop and put the band-aid on it, take care of it, then it won't
Pop it.
continue to be a thing, right? Yeah, well, right, there's got to be some sort of um, give and take to be able to but we get really good at ignoring. We get really good at pretending that it's not there, or we can't feel it, or we don't see it, or it's not important. Um, but in the
Can you
end,
share one of the signposts? You said there are seven. Could you give us
sure.
one?
Yeah, the first one is signpost one is when you discover your own rhythm has gone quiet. So when things like your sleeping is not in check, when your digestive system is out of order, you're not having regular movements, you're not feeling like you want to eat the same things or whatever it is, right? Like those kinds of things. There's such subtle little clues. You know, being dehydrated, not having enough electrolytes, like little things that we just do for ourselves, but we don't, you know, sometimes it takes a crisis before we even notice those tiny little things.
Yeah.
Not getting enough exercise, right? You suddenly know, oh, now my pants are too tight, but you don't realize, right? You don't realize until you get that little signal.
Your
But a lot of us,
trousers are too tight.
right?
You
But a
didn't
lot
mean
of us
underpants, right?
ignoring it.
Pants?
What?
Trousers.
Pants,
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 trousers, underpants,
breeches, breeches,
briefs,
briefs. Oh no, those are knickers.
knickers. Yeah, knickers. Yeah.
Yeah, those are elasticized. I think
If
that's for
they're
a reason.
feeling too tight, that's a real issue, right? Like,
Yes.
hmm.
That's
Anyhow,
the thing,
okay.
right? We don't
Signpost
know.
one, the small rhythms of life that you begin to you notice. Okay. Well,
Right?
I want to already know more. So we use those seven
Would you like
to
would you like me to tell you what they all are? I'll have to read
if
them all,
you
but
want to I don't want to
here, I'll
spoil it
just
for
run.
anybody. So yeah, sure. I would love to
Signpost
know.
two is the trailhead. The trail ahead feels foggy. So when we're uncertain, we're indecisive, we can't decide what we want to do or where we want to go, or we just have so much overwhelm that we can't, you know, decipher what's right and what's wrong, or what's good for us or what's not, what's going to move us towards where we want to go. It's just like confusion. And when all those other things from the first signpost are kind of lacking, you sort of miss those cues with the second signpost. So it's kind of, it compounds upon each other, you know, each thing adds to each other. So number three is when your pack is heavier than it needs to be, as we just talked about,
Uh-huh.
because a lot of times we don't need to carry burdens. We don't need to carry grief. We don't need to carry shame or guilt or any of those things. And sometimes those just keep us a little bit um, off center. You know, we're not walking with both feet evenly. And if you are not stepping on the path, you know, evenly, and you keep stepping harder with one foot, you're going to end up, you know, next thing you know, you're really gone off. So being able to bring ourselves back is super
Okay.
important. So number four, you've been walking by obligation instead of truth. As we've discussed earlier, right, where we talk about
Yes.
trying to fit ourselves into somebody else's container. We're trying to guide ourselves with what somebody else is telling us, even if it's not true for us. Sometimes we just feel like we're obligated, or it's our responsibility to stay within that, you know, that path that we're following, but it really doesn't, you know, it's not suiting us, and it's not leading us where we need to go. It's kind
Would
of
ethics or slash moral, let's say value, do values come into that too? Like living, even though it's a good value to have, it's not my value, it's their value, right? Living
exactly.
by somebody else's value it's okay. Yeah.
Yep,
These are
somebody
all
else's.
resonating. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because then you start to feel like, you know, you are actually starting to live somebody else's life. You're not living your own. You're not living
Right.
from your own truth. You're just following somebody else's, um, you know, you're putting on their mask, their costume, and that gets hot and heavy, like not in a good
Yeah.
way. You
I
know,
don't
you
want to
don't
be a
want.
princess.
No, maybe you do, but maybe you
Well, maybe
don't.
I mean maybe I do, but I'm saying I don't want to be a princess.
Exactly. Right.
She
So
keeps
there
telling
you
me to
go.
put on
So
the princess costume, and I'm like, I don't want to be a princess.
right, but lots of people think that they need to, that they can't, they must, in order to fit in, or in order to be looking like they're doing the right thing. um right, like
Also,
our
we outgrow our costumes too, right? Like when I used to wear
exactly.
my little sailor boy costume, it wouldn't look so hot now when I'm around 46, you know?
My God. That's hilarious, but it is true, and to be honest with yourself about that, because sometimes, like relationships, right? Sometimes we grow apart, we grow in different ways, we or grow different branches. We're just not, we're still moving forward, we're still doing the best for ourselves, but we're not moving together in the same way. And we have to be honest with ourselves about that so that we can say, hey, this is actually not working for me. Not anything against you or nothing about it that's negative, between us. It's just that, we're just going in different ways. And that is like one of the principal truths I think about ourselves, that we should make sure that we are honest with ourselves. Because if we're not honest with ourselves, we're never going to be honest with anybody else either. Right?
So, yeah. So that was number 5.
Number 5 is you
Was that
keep
5?
pushing past your own signals. So that's kind of like this, you're getting told, what you should be doing. You're just not obeying. Let's just call it that. You're not obeying yourself. You're not obeying your intuition. You're just trying to keep pushing and
Obstinate.
yeah, stubborn and yeah, just in
Life
so many
keeps
ways.
trying to teach me, stop doing that because it's not helping you. And you're like, yeah, I'll give it one more try. Oh dear. Yeah.
Yep, it's so true. And it works for everybody. It's not just women. It does really just our little human ways of how to move forward with who we are and how to become who we want to be. Even if we don't know who we want to be ultimately, just to have that next step. We don't have to have the whole picture. You just have to have what's next, what feels right, what's good. And if you know it's not somebody else's path, then you better get out your own map. So number 6 is the old map no longer fits the terrain. So, right, you're using all the things, all the skills, all the knowledge that you had before, and you're not growing because you're just still trying to make it work with what you have. But we all need to grow. We all need to branch out a little bit. We've got to find new interests, find things that maybe connect dots with things that we are interested in. Maybe we're interested in this one thing here, and there's this thing over there. How do we make them work together? And that is the kind of, okay, here, here, not over there, over here, but within our own self, right? Like we need to know when we've come to the dead end. We need to know when there's a detour. We need to know when there's a crossroads. We can't just keep walking because you're going to walk off a cliff. You've got to realize eventually, like those patterns, they keep repeating because they want to teach you something. So when you get to a spot when you're not learning anymore, and you're not growing anymore, it's really great to just be able to sit back into yourself, into your own navigation, I guess it is. Learn how to navigate for yourself instead of always just trying to rely on what worked before, because everything changes, people change, we grow, and just to be able to move forward without being in fear because it's unknown. Like it's okay to not know exactly all the time,
Yeah.
I think. And then
Yeah.
signpost
And there's
number
a
7
difference between
is
not knowing. Well, sorry, I was gonna say, sorry.
right. No, go ahead. Sorry. I'm
Bad,
bad.
Andrew.
Bad interviewee.
I was thinking, I was just getting to my own head about being stagnant and
Mhm.
versus on autopilot. Like on autopilot, you're still moving. However, it's almost like you're on autopilot going around in circles. You're not
Yeah.
on autopilot going to your destination automatically. You're just aimlessly,
Circle.
whatever
Yeah.
metaphor
Circling
you
around.
thinking,
See,
but
for me, like a loop, right? Like you go
yeah,
on a hike,
yeah,
you walk a loop, you end up back where you started. And for
right.
for what I'm trying to get through is that you can walk around in a loop. That's okay. But to realize that you might be walking around the gold, and that's the thing. You just keep circling the gold instead of getting the gold. And as soon as you figure the gold out in the middle of that loop, the pattern, the whatever it might be, then you can move forward. The loop closes. It completes. So there's no longer a circle, right? It becomes a straight path. So then you can move forward. Then you have to decide, okay, where am I? Where am I going? What do I want to do? Who am I becoming? All the things. But you don't have to know everything at the first step. You just have to know where you are to begin. That's it. So signpost number 7 is you've been postponing what you already know. And it's hard, right? It's really hard. And sometimes we hide in procrastination. Sometimes we hide in our homes, like physically, we stop socializing, we stop interacting with others because we know, and generally I think we feel like everybody else can see it too. And sometimes people they can see also where we're stuck, and most people don't like to take the advice. They don't want to be told, they want to discover it themselves. And we need to discover it ourselves. We need to be able to say, oh, right, that's me. Or, oh, I've been doing that. Because if we don't take the onus and we don't realize that it's us, it's on us. We're the ones that make the choices. We have free will. And, what do we do that we're just kind of skirting around, or we're just not accepting, instead of really looking at, the little things that we know we could move forward if we did it, but it's hard, or it's scary, or it's
What do you think is the
uncomfortable.
number one sticking point for not any one of those 7
Yep.
signposts? What's the number one sticking point that keeps most people stuck, that keeps most people like never changing, keep circling?
I think probably just never asking the question, like being honest with themselves, saying, okay, where am I? Where am I? Because it's not where I'm going. You can't go somewhere if you don't know where you are.
Sure.
So you've
Is
got to
that
find
because
that.
they've never considered the question, or because no one's ever asked them?
Both
It's like
and.
saying, why do you never take a vacation? Oh, I didn't know there were other countries. Come on, there's nobody that doesn't know there are other countries. That's, you know.
Well, it's mostly fear, I guess, probably a lot of fear. People are afraid of, well, taking ownership, being responsible for themselves. I know that was one of the big things for me when I first started on my journey, was learning to be responsible, right? Like, if you can't respond to something, you're not capable of responding to something if you don't know how to be responsible. So you have to learn that little bit of thing about yourself, how to be response able. And what does that look like for you? Because every person, of course, we've got different experiences, different challenges, things that brought us to where we are that are not the same as everybody. But to figure out that little thing to say, okay, I'm going to be responsible for all my choices, because we are 100% responsible for every decision that we make.
Mhm.
And a lot of those signposts sometimes, well, all of those signposts can be excuses for us to choose to not be responsible, because it takes the weight off of us. It
Because
makes us
it's not
feel
my fault, right? It's other
just like a
people's
kid,
fault.
like a child, right? It's like a child. It's part of the adulting process, I suppose, is saying, yes, I am responsible. I made that decision. I screwed that up. I made the wrong choice. But it doesn't make you a bad person. It's just an experience, and you're just learning from it.
Makes you
And
a
I think,
loser. No, it absolutely doesn't. It's fine. It's I really struggle with, especially people who I love and care about, when I hear them telling me those things like, it's just the way I am, or I'm too old to change. This is what I know. Why would I want it any different? And it makes me sad, because I know that there's always something new, and the newness can be exciting. It can be scary, but on the other side of when it's over, that fear changes into joy and pride and gratitude. And yeah, I think at one point or another, we all have that realization. Some people have it early in life, some people have it at the end of their life, maybe, but eventually there's a knowing, right, that more is possible. And I think me, similar to you, we just want to shine that light on people as quickly as possible so that they can experience it as early in life as possible.
Yes, yes, yeah, yes. The people that we care about, like people in my group, the Women's Wellness Network. I mean, I created this group because I want people to be able to feel good in
Well,
their life.
not
I want
people,
people to
women.
feel well.
Be fair,
Women.
women. You had
No,
no
because
care. You were not considering me and my brothers, were you?
are you sure? Because those women have brothers, they have uncles, they have
I know.
dads, they have grandpas, right? We make ourselves, if that's all we can do is take care of ourselves, right? To make ourselves the best we can be. And it trickles out from there,
Yeah,
right? It's
it's a
what they
tricky
say about,
one. Self-love and like taking care of yourself first. That's why it's so common, the trope of the cliche of the oxygen mask on the airplane, right? Like
yes,
if you 10x'd your self-care and self-love and self-knowledge and wisdom and all of that, how would that impact those around you? And if you look at it from that point of view, I think that's a Jim Rohn line, but you'd be a better husband, better wife, better son, better daughter. Like if you're 10 times better as a person, you're going to be 10 times better to everyone around you, which is win-win, isn't it? Like,
right.
yeah.
And that's
So,
right. Isn't that the way that's feels to me the way to heal the world?
yeah.
If everybody, you can't sit there and point fingers and blame other people. There's stuff going on all the time, and that's always going to be. It's going to be that way. But what can we do about it?
Yeah.
What can Andrew do about it? What can Tammy do about it? I'm doing what
I'm
I
doing
can.
it.
Exactly. Well,
Doing
that's
it.
the thing. We need to be doing it. We all need to be doing it. Not saying everybody has to create a Facebook group or any of that stuff, but starting with yourself and just taking care of yourself will lead. You become a leader. You become a leader of yourself, and then it's, within your family, within your friend group, within your coworkers. You don't even have to, you don't go out there and say, "Oh, I'm the leader. Look at me." It just comes naturally. People start to recognize, and everything's energy, everything's frequency. So they feel within themselves, "Oh," especially when you're growing in front of them, when you're
Mm.
doing the work and they start to notice, "Oh, what's actually happening there?"
Yeah, I try not. Yeah, I'm not going to go down that road of growing in front of people, but mentally growing it's a challenge for people to see sometimes, and that challenge transfers back to me in terms of, do I continue or do I give up because that person's uncomfortableness or insecurity, it affects the person who's growing, right? Like it can delay you, it can make you pause, it can make you question whether it's the right thing to do. And staying the course isn't always easy, but it's worth it.
Right. Exactly. And if you know you're doing the best for yourself, and people always, "Oh, isn't that selfish?" Well, no, it's not. It's
I'm
not.
doing this for you. This six pack is for you. Yeah,
Well, you could tell your wife that for sure.
I tell everyone that. It's for you.
Oh my goodness.
Public
Well, it's the
service.
public service, a public service. Oh, well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Oh, but like in all honesty, to work on yourself is the greatest gift. And to discover the things that you are and can be is the most exciting, interesting adventure
Mm,
personally that I've ever been on. Like the work
I
that I've
agree.
been doing with myself is I'm excited to learn more about me.
Mhm.
And I
Do you
know that's
find
a better person.
do you find that the when you do the work and you find something new about yourself, it's usually the antithesis, the opposite of something that made you feel crappy about yourself in the past?
Crappy about yourself. It kind of starts
Like,
there.
I mean, like, for example, for me, creativity. The, part of this journey, the last 4 or 5 years, starting a group and meeting new people and a new business venture and getting sober and all that stuff, a lot of new things came to me. But I was amazed by how much of it had an opposite side to me not that long ago that would pull me down and make me sad, make me depressed, make me feel less worthy of any of, just low self-esteem. And once I started, I don't know, I didn't do it deliberately to cure that low self-esteem. I just had this awareness of like, oh, I don't feel so terrible every time somebody asks me to do something that's a creative endeavor. I don't have this low self-image of me being of use to people, whereas I
Right.
did used to. So when people say the greatness of your life lies on the other side of what you're afraid of, I think that's true, but there's also a deeper feeling too. Like there's a healing that happens, whatever it is that eats you up inside, whether it's, I don't know, low self-esteem, guilt, whatever. When you start working on yourself, it, it it heals you, and you feel the opposite, which is good and proud and all of that wonderful tingly joy. So
Right? Yeah, you think I went through that. Oh, that was terrible, but I got through it.
yeah,
And it's not happening anymore, right? It's in the past. It's something, it's a stepping stone. It should be, a stepping stone. It rises you. It raises you.
yeah,
It raises you up.
rises.
It
It raised me up. Yes. Embarrassment, how embarrassment used to rule my life. It stopped me doing things. It made me isolate. And now I embrace it. Like, bring it on. Like, let's see who can embarrass me or what can embarrass me today, because it's fun, you know,
Right.
watching other people's reaction. And I'm like, I don't care. And they're all like, oh, look at that. And I'm like,
Yep,
look it back in.
exactly. Well, I mean, it's the way we've been, you know, I was going to say
Conditioned.
indoctrinated, conditioned. That's a better word. Conditioned. Our society, our global society, there's
Mhm.
basically, as human beings, we're kind of all, we have parents, they teach us things, what to do, what not to do. We have our own experiences, some good, some bad, and it's up to us to decide what that means, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
because somebody gives us an idea doesn't mean it's the best thing for us. Even something that your parents might have shared, it doesn't mean it's going to work now, or it doesn't mean it's the best thing for Tammy or for Andrew. It's just look at it, see it. Okay, thank you for that. But I can see over here, this might be better for me. And to be okay to say, right? To be okay to say,
Yeah.
I'm going this way. I love you,
Right.
but I'm going this way.
Yeah. I love you and I'm going this way. Yeah.
I love you and I'm going this way. I like that better.
Mm.
Beautiful. Very true.
Well, it has been a pleasure to host you in your own community. Is there any, so the seven signposts, what's the bigger picture, bigger project? Is
The
that
bigger project is, well, there's a couple of them. So we have the Sacred Garden, which is growing into a actual physical place where we'll be able to visit. In the meantime, it will be a virtual garden still as it still was. And then there is the case of the 13 missing crown jewels, which is a video, kind of a video series. It's a little bit of a mystery. So you kind of go along and you solve the mystery of yourself as you're going through the journey. And that takes place within the sacred garden. So it's all kind of connected. The different areas that you visit pertain to different things within your world, nutrition or grieving or just guidance, some metaphysical stuff. It's like just fun stuff to play with. And it's a good way to open up your own mind around things that seem foreign or, like cranial nerves. Most people are like, what? But we all have them. We all have them and they all have
I
functions
have
and
them? Where are they?
yeah. X
I feel
marks
like
the
a
spot,
cat
Andrew.
trying to find my ears.
Oh my word.
But okay.
Jeez.
So all of these wonderful programs and tools and events, I'm sure they're well tagged and signposted. in your group. You can also, I guess, share them under in the comments of this video and in the description. So you can take care of that because this is your. I'm
Yes, I
just
will.
here for the aesthetics and
Pretty
the
face.
humor. Yeah.
I'm good. Well, good thing you didn't wear your cat ears on the. Oh no, you had a plant on top of your head when we started.
Well, I left my halo at home. I usually bring that, but yes, I go to my temple after this call. But
See, I go to my temple. It's right here, right between my eyes. Yep,
that's here. No,
right between. Well, I can't. You know, it's
I
between.
don't know. Beside your eyes, between your eye, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Into the
do you
middle.
have eyes on the back of your here?
I'm a mother. Of course, I have eyes in the back of my head.
About that. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll be with my mother next week. I can't wait. I'll be in the UK. Yay.
Oh, that's so lovely. Lovely. Anyways, thank you
Well,
so much, Andrew.
it has been a pleasure, ladies. I bid you adieu. Is that the right way to say it? And I hope I see you again. And maybe you come over to my men's place, party with the boys, and I'll introduce what I do over there.
And you are accepting women into your group, are you
Oh
not?
yeah, yeah. We are a all welcome group now in terms of it's men focused, men healing, men supporting. There's no broken men in my community. So there are some, I don't want to say there are people, there are men and women, but there are some people that think we need to fix people, right? That's not the kind of community we have. And I'm sure that's not your community either. But women, they know more about men than men sometimes. So you are all welcome. Yeah. All
Absolutely.
in
And I
this.
just want to say to our women of the Women's Wellness Network, to go ahead and sign up with Andrew's group. Because, like I said, we all have men in our lives, and you could go over there and just see for yourself, maybe get a couple pointers that you can gently, uh, you know, pass on. Because
Or
sometimes our
connect
guys
me
are
to your man in your life and I'll straighten him out for you.
in the most kind, gentle way, of course.
With love and light. Yes, absolutely.
Of course. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And thank you, Andrew, so much for hosting.
You're very welcome. You sign us out. This is your show.
Okay.
I'll just
Okay.
say, stay extraordinary, everybody.
Stay extraordinary. All right, women of the Women's Wellness Network, thank you very much for watching. And until next time.